All right, it's time. Another week. ZTGD Radio. This is episode 901 for July 13th, 2026. And on the show this week, we got the Wombat.
Oh, yes, sir.
And we have Steven.
Hello.
That's it. Harris said he had to change some brakes. And Anthony is MIA.
He's breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo right now.
That's true. With Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Out.
Oh, man. All right.
With Jean-Claude Van Damme, is that what you said?
Yeah, because he was in that, wasn't he? Or was it the first one that he's in? I don't remember.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, he
You're
dances.
probably right.
He dances. That's the meme dance that you see.
No, the meme dance is from Lionheart.
Is it from Lionheart? I thought it was... No, not the one in the club. He's an extra in the background.
Oh, okay.
In Breakin'. Right. Yeah, sorry. The one in the bar, yeah, that's from Lionheart.
This is the one I'm thinking of. Hold on. This is great. This is great radio.
We just started too, so this is even better. No, I know the one in the bar.
Yeah. The one in the bar, is the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking of the one where he's outside with the people. That's in the background of Breakin' 2.
Okay.
I mean, he's just dancing everywhere, so it's fine.
Well, he was a dancer, I believe. So
that's how he kicks so high.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right. He was in. Let's see, was an extra in the movie Breaking. Maybe it looks like maybe it's the first one.
Oh, it's the first one. I couldn't remember if it was the first one or the second one. Yeah, in the second one is when they save the rec center, right?
Yes, I believe you are correct.
I don't think anybody remembers Breaking 1. Which is crazy that we...
Well, I mean, it's just got it's because Breakin' 2 has the best title of all time.
It does. But, man, we used to live in a time where you could get a sequel to a movie about breakdancing.
It's true.
I remember when those movies came out, and I can remember kids saving the cardboard and just so they could make their own breakdancing mat.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to say I did that, but, it might or might not have happened, so,
I mean, we all tried it at least once, right? If you grew up in that time? I mean,
it was called breakdancing for a reason. Yeah, things might have gotten broken in the house, so,
yeah.
When I was a kid.
The thing about Breakin' 2 is that 2 of the main stars, their characters in the movies had less crazy nicknames than they had in real life.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So,
one dude's name was
Orlando Ozone Barco was the character, and the real guy's name is Shabadoo.
Yeah, Shabadoo, yeah.
And Tony Turbo Ainley was the other character, and his person's name in real life is Boogaloo Shrimp.
Boogaloo Shrimp, okay. I wonder if...
Name any other movies that those guys were in.
Breaking 1? I don't know.
Without Googling it.
Dude, I can't even...
He was in Breaking 1. So, Shabadoo was in Breaking 1.
Yeah.
Performed and choreographed dances for musical acts such as Lionel Richie, Madonna, Luther Vandross, 3-6 Mafia, and Chaka Khan. Boy, one of those doesn't match.
Yeah, one of these is not like the other.
And Boogaloo Shrimp, Breakin' and Breakin' 2, prominently featured in the music videos for All Night Long and I Feel For You.
I just see those guys, selling meat out of the back of their truck, I mean, that just seems like that would be their next step.
They might be selling cardboard squares out of the back of their truck.
Oh, that's fair.
We'll break for food.
That has 2 meanings. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
All right. So there's episode 1 of our Breakin' podcast.
And that's the final episode of our Breakin' podcast.
And it's done.
That's all you needed to remember about Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo starring Shabadoo.
Some things burn too bright to burn long.
God damn it. Oh, anyway. Video games, that's what we're here to talk about. They never made a Breakin' video game, did they? That's crazy.
Are you sure?
I don't remember one. I could be
Let's
wrong.
see.
There's not a ton of
They're making-
break-dancing video games, so...
They don't appear to have made a break in video game. Man, that feels like it would have been something on Atari 7800.
The only breakdancing video game I could think of was on the PS1, or maybe it was the PS2. And it was like a rhythm game.
There was a breakdance game on the Commodore 64 made by Epix.
Oh, I
Oh
mean,
God, it looks fucking awesome.
what game? What is not on the Commodore 64? And there were like 3,000 games for that system or something like that.
Yes.
That
Yeah,
thing.
so
That thing was crazy. Like you could probably name a property from the 80s, and it had a Commodore 64 video game. Oh goodness. That screenshot, I just saw it.
that looks fucking awesome.
I mean, I'd play that. Shit.
And now this afternoon, I'm playing the breakdance game on Commodore 64.
Hell yeah. Who wouldn't? All right. Let's dig into some.
And I used to have. So speaking of hold on, real quick.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You should have fucking known. We're already off the rails.
I know.
So,
It happens.
I had a game on Commodore 64 where you had to gather pieces of a boombox. What was this game?
Gather pieces of a boombox.
Boombox game.
Yeah, I'm at a
Ghetto
loss.
Blaster. That was the name of it.
That's a great fucking name. Ghetto Blaster.
Ghetto Blaster. That was it. Yeah.
Sounds
And
sounds like a GI Joe character.
there was like let me just walk you through the story. You ready?
Oh yeah.
Rockin' Rodney is the player character and protagonist of the game, and he's been employed as a courier for the fictional record company Interdisc. The player must find and collect batteries for their Ghetto Blaster, and afterwards locate 10 cassette tape demos of dance music. When this is done, the player must get people to dance to the tape demos by listening to them on their boombox. The main aim of the game is to deliver the tapes to Interdisc by navigating a maze of streets, alleyways, and cul-de-sacs.
All right.
And I remember there being a whole bunch of song references in that game.
Oh, I'm sure. That was back before we understood licensing.
Yep.
That's great artwork.
Yep. Anyway, all right. Sorry for the digression. That's one of those Commodore 64 games that's firmly lodged in my brain.
The hard thing about Commodore 64 games, if we're going to go back and play them now, is that some of them do not work without like some sort of keyboard shit. And
Right.
like you just got to figure that out. That system was crazy. All right.
It was a crazy system.
Let's talk about current video game. Well, maybe current video games. Steven, do you want to talk about Assassin's Creed or whatever else is going on?
Well, I'd like to start off with mirroring your last week's show, 900 show. I played the game this week of find a new Xbox.
That's always
not
fun.
that not that mine was broken yet, but Terrence and we joke all the time on our show that like my Xbox is maybe like one boot up away from going kaput. So I'm like, well, before the price increases, let me see what I can find. And boy, that was a task.
Oh yeah, they're sold out like everywhere.
They're like, like one day I was like, oh, they've got some over at Best Buy near me. Okay, I'll think about it. Well, next day, gone. Let me look at GameStop. Let me look at Target, or let me look at Walmart. Nowhere. And finally, I found one over in Hamilton on the west side, and I'm like, okay. I called the guy and I was like, hey, hold this for me. He's like, it's our policy not to hold consoles. I said, dude, I'm going to come in and spend $650. You're going to hold me a damn console. And he goes, okay, can you be here in 20 minutes? I'm like, yeah, fine. So needless to say, I have a backup Xbox. Thank God. I'm future proofing in the regards that uh, we may not have games to play, but I will have a hell of a backlog to play for a while, and I'll be able to play it for a while because I damn sure ain't going to be able to afford a new console anytime soon. So
It's
there's
fucking
that.
crazy to me that we're, we're rushing to spend $150 more than the fucking thing cost at launch.
Right, right.
What is this timeline?
It's never happened before in my
No.
history. I mean, we always it used to be that after about a year or two, consoles went down by $100.
Man, those ads that flow around on social media of like, what was it? PS2 is now $99. Like, fuck you, man.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But anyway, so yeah, I've been playing. I reviewed Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. Apparently one of the internet's most controversial games. Even though it scored well on consoles, apparently Steam guys hate it.
Mm.
So, you know, it's Black Flag. It's beautiful. I played it I played the original when it came out, back in 2013. Loved the game. There was a lot to. I've been an Assassin's Creed fan since Assassin's Creed 1. So, when I went with this review, I didn't want to look at it through rose-colored glasses and say, it's going to be fantastic. I literally tried to find flaws with it. But I also wanted to compare it to the old game versus the new game. So I would go back and forth, loading the old game and loading the new game. Um, Big differences are, number one, the best thing, I think, in my opinion, the best thing is the load times. Anybody that played Black Flag when it first came out, you know that whenever you fast traveled or whenever you loaded into a new area, so on and so forth, load times could be up to a minute. I'll just say roughly a minute. With this, load times are, I think the longest load time I saw was probably around 12 to 15 seconds. So that was a huge improvement. As far as the game itself, it's gorgeous. It's been reworked from the top down with the new Anvil engine. They've modernized the controls, which I liked because, yeah, while I still remember the older games playing on, their old controls, I've gotten used to the new ones, since I've played Valhalla, Odyssey, Origins, and Shadows. I've gotten used to the newer controls, so it was easy to fall right into playing this version. Other than that, I mean, the story is the same. They didn't really change it. They've added a few little things here and there. But in my opinion, it's probably the best Assassin's Creed game we've had since probably Odyssey, in my opinion. And I know that's saying a lot because, a lot of people liked Valhalla, a lot of people liked Origins, so on and so forth. But for a remake, this one is really, really well done. The interwebs, the internet, especially the people that are giving it negative reviews on Steam, the only thing I can say to them is grow up, number one. Number two, it's the same practice that every video game has had for the last 10 years. And that's, if it's cosmetic, we're going to charge you extra for it. That's just the way it is. I mean, I've seen so many articles now going on and on about how, well, it's a single player game and we shouldn't have to have single player content behind a paywall. Well, first of all, you don't have to have any of those skins. You don't have to buy any of it. And the only thing that would be even worthwhile is $5. And if you want to pay for it, pay for it. And that's the map packs. So I get tired of seeing all the negativity. It's almost like people don't have enough stuff to bitch about. So they're going to, find little things, especially something as good as this remake is. they want to find something to bitch about.
You could have the Dead or Alive last round. Uh, you could deal with that
Yeah,
bullshit.
right. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I've heard you talk at length about that as far as, the microtransactions that are in that. I mean, that sounds like a microtransaction hell. This, yeah, it's got what they say, $85 worth of DLC. And then people are going, well, we shouldn't have to pay $60 and then have another $85 worth of DLC. You don't. You don't. That's just it. It's literally costume and character packs. That's it. It does
Which,
nothing to
yeah,
change the game.
the other Assassin's Creeds, the recent Assassin's Creeds have that too.
Right?
Oh yeah, there's tons of that shit.
But
Right.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
all that stuff. And you can, it's $5 here, $5 there, $10, whatever. It's the same practice that Ubisoft has had for years, and nobody has complained once about it. But by God, we got a brand new game that is, well, I say brand new. We have a remake of a game that is fantastic, and all they want to do is nitpick on the little things, and it gets tiresome. I mean, we live in such a toxic time for video games, and I'm sure you're going to get into it with a lot of the headlines, and there's so much hearsay that goes on, and people just jockeying for clicks that nobody has the information.
I still think it's funny that people complained about the boat math. That's still cracking me up.
Oh,
oh yeah,
the wooden lady
Yeah.
ship. Yeah, it's like,
yeah, of course.
again, it's people wanting to nitpick the littlest of things, and 999 people wouldn't even pay any attention to it, but you got one asshat out there that's got a TikTok account or a Instagram account or whatever, and he's going to make a big thing about it just so he can get clicks and saying that that's a big deal. Again, goony behavior, but
Oh.
grow up. So anyway, I mean that's pretty much all I've been playing. I know Ryan, you're a big Assassin's Creed fan, correct?
Yes, sir. Huge. Yep.
So which one is your favorite? Which Assassin's Creed? You probably have said it on the show maybe a dozen times, but I've only been listening for 20 years and I don't remember.
Yeah, the so I sort of so to me I split the series up. To me the most recent games, so Origins, Odyssey, Valhalla, and Shadows to me are almost a completely different series um, in my brain.
Hmm.
But so I would say that of the original style, Black Flag is my favorite. Um, of the new style, it's tough. Um, I liked the gameplay in Odyssey probably the best, but I think Valhalla had my favorite story. So I think if I had to give it an edge, I'd probably give it to Valhalla. But of the original styles, Black Flag's my favorite.
Black
Okay.
Flag
I
was
mean,
such a cool game when it came out. It was like the game for the PS4,
Yeah,
Xbox One era. So
well,
yeah, and they were
again,
also
that
very
was
good. Oh, go ahead.
no, you're fine. What I was going to say was whenever I get a remake of a game to review, I always want to go back and kind of look at the history. You said it was kind of like the game for the PlayStation. What
PlayStation
was it?
4, yeah,
The
like seeing that game on
PlayStation 4,
PS4
and
was beautiful.
but it released a month prior to that on
Hmm.
the PS3
Yep.
and the
Yep.
Xbox 360, which I vaguely remember because I think I originally got it on a PlayStation 3 and then my PlayStation 3 died and I kind of held off from it for a while and ended up finishing it on the Xbox One.
Yeah, that was one of the
Um,
first games you could put the PS3 disc in and pay $10, and they would give you the
Yep.
PS4
right,
version.
right. Yeah. I've been I've loved the series since Assassin's Creed 1. And you kind of look at the dynamics of how that series has gone over the years. And like Assassin's Creed 1 will always hold a special place in my heart. And, the first time you do the eagle jump off the tower, you're like, oh my God, this is unreal. This is so cool. Even though the story was okay and it was, a little more linear than the modern games, Assassin's Creed 1 was, kind of the new thing. You fast forward to Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood, which I think was kind of the highest of the highs at the time for the older series. And then you get to Revelations, which kind of started a downward slide for Assassin's Creed series. It wasn't as well received. It wasn't, it wasn't as, the story wasn't as great. And then we get into Assassin's Creed 3. It was glitchy. It was buggy. They added the naval combat. People just didn't, adhere to it. And if you remember, those games were being released pretty regularly at the time, almost one a year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's when Ubisoft kind of took a break and they said, you know what, we're not going to bring Assassin's Creed 4 out for a while. And I think it was a year or two later, then they brought out Black Flag, and Metacritic scores were in the mid to high 80s for Black Flag. So it was a good game even originally released.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of hard to, I kept thinking, it's like, well, how are they going to make this game better? How are they going to make this game better? And in my opinion, they did. I mean, I scored it really well. And yeah, they got rid of the modern storyline. And, I kind of thought that was going to happen. I kind of look for that to happen if they do any more of these remakes. I think they're going to strip that away from everything, which makes me curious that if we ever do get a Assassin's Creed 2, or even an Assassin's Creed 1, 2, and Brotherhood and Revelation, if we get those, what are they going to do with the Desmond story? Are they going to leave it in there? Or are they going to strip that all away? So it'd be kind of interesting to see where that goes. I don't mind that they stripped out the modern day, especially if you remember the modern day stuff for Black Flag. You were in an office setting where you were like a, I don't know, game tester or whatever, where you were combing through the history of these people, and it just really felt like it wasn't as cohesive of a story as like the Desmond stuff was.
Yeah, it was pretty disappointing. The modern day stuff compared to where they had been was pretty disappointing.
Right. So, but yeah, I mean, if you haven't played the new Assassin's Creed, keep it on your radar. Everybody jokes about you playing games that are, older, new games that are older. Well, this one's 13 years old, so it's right in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, no, it's on my list, but I'll the Ubisoft stuff
It goes
always
down
either
in
comes
price.
to Ubisoft Plus or it drops in price so
Right.
fast.
Or eventually it'll end up on Game Pass or something.
Right.
I mean, it's one of those things. It definitely worth checking out. To me, because 13 years had gone by and I hadn't played it, so it was almost like playing a new game. I had forgotten a lot of the main story beats. I mean, I remembered most of the characters that were in it, but as far as how it all came down, and I mean, I just found myself. Oh, yeah, that reminds me. One of the things that they added was the pathfinding, like they added in Shadows and I believe Valhalla, where you can get on your horse and pick your mark, and it would just take you there. You can now do that on the ship, and I think that was the best thing. Because like I found myself like keying up, oh, I got to go to this island, way the hell over here on the other side of the map. I'd key it up, I'd sit back and then just listen to the crew sing the sea shanties, which was awesome. And that way you can just sit there and just look around at the world and see how beautiful it is. Like one of my favorite times while I was playing it was I was, going across the ocean, big vast ocean. You got islands here, islands there, and you look out in front of you and there's this huge storm just brewing in the distance, and you can see the lightning hitting the water and things like that. And it was just like you're heading straight into it. It was awesome. The visuals of that game are absolutely amazing. So I couldn't say enough good things about how well it looks, and it plays pretty damn good too.
All right.
Yeah, that was it was a nice period of time in that series because and I know to some people they got a little sick of it, but so Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla are all interconnected, not just in the modern day, but there are some interconnected pieces actually in the past as well. But they're so far apart in timeline that the interconnectedness is less sort of in your face. But it's because Black Flag, Assassin's Creed 3, Assassin's Creed Rogue, and Assassin's Creed Unity all take place within a relatively tight period of time. They are fully interconnected, those four games. There are characters from each that show up in others. The storylines, the families show up. Rogue directly leads into the beginning of Assassin's Creed Unity. So there are a lot of strong interconnected stuff that they were able to do because they had that sort of 4-game run that all took place within, I don't know, 100 years or so. So it was, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind them going back to that approach at some point. If they're going to do these sort of smaller games like Mirage, I wouldn't mind them doing a tighter period of time for several games to take place in, so they could do some more stuff that actually feels kind of like direct sequels.
It's still crazy to me.
The way the industry's going, they may have to go to smaller games because nobody's going to be able to afford to.
We'll talk about that.
Titles.
We'll talk about that in the news because two companies made a very specific comment about that.
Yeah.
But I was thinking back to, like you said, with the interconnectedness. I still remember that intro to Assassin's Creed 3, and then playing 4 and realizing that particular connection.
Yeah.
It was wild then.
Yep. Yeah, and there is at least one character that I can remember that is directly from Assassin's Creed 4 that shows up in Assassin's Creed and has actually a relatively big role in Assassin's Creed Rogue. And then obviously the main character Rogue has a pretty big impact on the beginning of Unity. So it was a neat little story that they were telling there across those 4 games. I would love, actually, I know Rogue got a remake because if you remember, Rogue came out the year after Black Flag.
It was like the 360 version of it.
It was 360 and PlayStation 3 only.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't even available on the newer gen systems until like 4 or 5 years later when they remade it. So I know it already kind of got a remake, but I wouldn't mind.
I think it was more a remaster.
Also got a remake,
wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was more a remaster than a remake.
It was more of just a fresh coat of paint. Is all that was for Rogue.
Speaking of which, by the way, we also had what was the PSP one?
Oh, the Deep South one.
Liberation.
Liberation.
Yeah, I think Liberation was because they ported that too to the new consoles.
That was also interconnected. Yeah.
That one was probably my least favorite.
I didn't care for that game.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd love to see them try another run like that. Maybe we'll get that with this Hex game that's coming up.
I'm still hoping, fingers crossed, we get an Ezio trilogy remade. I mean, that's my all-time favorite. That whole trilogy.
It's aliens, man. It's aliens.
They could strip part of that out, but
they're not going to because it's the whole Apple of Eden. That's the whole point.
Yeah,
but no, my point was there's nothing better than I believe it's Brotherhood when you're climbing on top of some of these cathedrals and you just look out over the city and just how beautiful the city looks. It's amazing. The vistas in Assassin's Creed 2 are some of my favorites. But yeah, I mean, I would love to see them just go back there and remake in this new engine all these games and modernize controls because, I mean, you can remember the older Assassin's Creed. Your character was very, very sticky at times, and like you would mistimed jumps and things, or he would grab onto something you were trying to get off of, and they were very wasn't very user friendly at times. So
It's insane
I'd
to
love for them to
me
do it.
that at this point, why has the first game never been touched again? Like every other game has had some sort of remaster, or upgrade, or revisit, but that first one remains untouched, and that's the hardest one to play.
It is.
I
Yeah.
don't know why they
The
haven't done something with that.
That's the Metal Gear Solid 4 of Assassin's Creeds.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think the answer, I think the answer, Ken, is that I don't think they have any confidence. Two things. I don't think they have any confidence that anyone wants to go back and play that first game based on the style that it was, because it was a different style than what they ended up doing with Assassin's Creed 2.
Sure. Yeah.
And I think I think they probably think there's limited appeal in that style based on what everybody is used to out of an Assassin's Creed at this point. And I also think that it probably, to try to make that first game more like the ones after it, kind of breaks it. So I would guess that they probably just don't quite know what to do with a remake.
I
Um,
think they would do okay with like a Mirage type remake kind of thing. I mean, I think it could be its own story because there's a lot of people, especially younger generations that have never played Assassin's Creed 1. So I think it would do really well as a, short budget title. Just give it a quick gloss over. Um, I mean, if they want to do a full remake, include it into like, again, I say the Ezio trilogy, but hell, let's, make it an Assassin's Creed 1, 2, Brotherhood, and Revelations like collection and make them all new and pretty.
yeah, I mean, they
I
certainly
think it
could
would
do
be,
that.
I mean, because that kind of like the way I look at the whole series. If you look at it, I mean, I just call it the Desmond Collection, because it starts off in Assassin's Creed 1, and his story pretty much ends in Brother or Revelation. So,
The
um,
one-off line in Revelations.
yeah,
Or no, that was in 3,
yeah,
wasn't it?
That was in 3.
Yeah, that was in
3,
3.
yeah,
Yeah. Fuck you,
but
Desmond.
yeah, I mean. Yeah, I mean, I think they could, and who knows? Maybe they were testing the waters with this one. It obviously has scored pretty well overall, with few exceptions, but maybe they're testing the waters to see if there's any interest in it. I saw today where launch date sold 2 million copies. So
Yeah.
I mean that's pretty good for a 13-year-old game. So.
Oh, old games. That's what we like to buy.
I'm all about it.
I know you are, but we'll talk about the news. But them Call of Duty games, whew, them things blew up.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else before we move on? Every time we get Assassin's Creed conversation, it turns into like this 20-minute thing. It's
Well,
crazy.
you ought to know by now, Ken.
I know. I know. All right, Wombat, you got anything to talk about?
Yeah. I mean, I'll say I played a couple games, um, just to keep it kind of pithy. I don't remember if I talked about the fact that I was playing Mortal Kombat 1 on the show.
You mentioned
Uh,
that you were starting the story. Yeah.
yeah, so I'm playing through the story in that. I'm I don't know, probably three-quarters of the way through the non DLC story.
Hmm.
Um, and it's really good. The story itself is really good. The character models are obviously ridiculous. Um, I gotta say, I don't really like the way it plays as much as 11.
That is insane to me.
Um,
Like I love the way one plays.
yeah, I'm not a super big fan. I do feel like there are some characters that I have played that I did not expect to like. That the game sort of forces you to play as. Like I enjoyed playing as Lee May, and I did not expect that I would enjoy playing as Lee May.
Hmm.
Um, but I gotta tell you, I thought Sub-Zero sucked. Um, Like I was annoyed the whole time I was playing with Sub-Zero because his ice ball takes so fucking long to come out.
Yeah, that's a huge
Um,
windup. Yeah.
so and Scorpion's fine. Scorpion, right? But yeah, I so far at least think I enjoy the way 11 plays more than this one. I also think it's kind of lame that we don't have any stage fatalities
Oh yeah,
or
that sucks.
I mean anything. And there's so many that look like you boot into the game and it's like, oh yeah, this is gonna have a stage fatality. Nope, it sure does not.
No.
It's the first time that's ever happened to my memory.
Yeah, outside of the
Um,
first game. Yeah.
well,
Or
the first
sorry, no,
game
the
had the
first game
kit.
had the one. Had the one. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's to me, it's like I don't know. It's weird that that wasn't included. The cameo system's okay.
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
care
I
for
don't
it.
have strong feelings about it one way or another. I don't
Yeah.
think it. It's just like the assist feature in basically every game that's ever had an assist feature. Um, but yeah, it's so I'm really enjoying the story. I'll finish it, and I'll do the DLC as well.
It's
Um, but
ridiculous though.
I don't see myself like grinding it or anything like that, especially since the other goofy ass thing is everybody loved the crypt.
Yeah.
Um, why the fuck would they get rid of that?
I don't know. That thing, well, it's
And
the
replaced it.
monetization.
Yeah, and they replaced it with this thing where you offer up coins on an altar or whatever, and it unlocks
Yeah.
something random. Give me a break.
That thing
That's lame.
sucks. That thing sucks, and
Um,
Invasion sucks too. I don't like Invasions.
yeah, I haven't tried those yet. But yeah, I mean it's a shame because I was looking forward to this one a lot. And the story again is excellent. I mean, NetherRealm does a great job of telling their stories in these games.
Hmm.
Um, but I have not been as big a fan of the way it plays as I was 11. I still think probably 9 might be the pinnacle, uh, especially of these recent games. Um, but 11 was also really good. 10 was fine, but there was just or X was fine, but there's a lot of characters in X that I didn't like. So
And there's a reason
uh,
none of them came back.
right, except as assists in this
Yeah.
game, like Ferrator or
Ferris,
whatever her
what the?
name is.
It's
Yeah,
not even Ferrator. It's just what Farah.
just Farah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just Farah because Tor was the big guy.
Yeah.
Um,
They haven't
yeah,
hit
there's
with like a lot of these new characters.
they have not. No, they have not. So, but yeah, so I've been playing that. I also I did one of these small little mystery key things on Fanatical, where you get mystery keys, and sometimes they're big new games, and sometimes they're older indie games. And I got Dun Hero, which actually released this year. And it's sort of it is kind of a roguelike, Ken.
Uh,
But it's like a twin stick dungeon kind of game. And it's not bad. I haven't really played it that much yet, so I'll have a better sense of it when I play it a little more. But it's got a bunch of different classes, and you know walk around exploring and twin stick shooting stuff and unlocking additional equipment and all that fun stuff. So it's kind of like a roguelike RPG twin stick shooter rolled together. Um, so it's I mean I'm enjoying what little I've played of it so far. Um, And then I almost, true to my reputation, because my algorithm on YouTube for some reason lately has been loaded with Witcher stuff. Um, so I'm like, I should go back and play Witcher 3 again. And then I'm like, actually, I should go back and play Witcher 2 again.
oh.
And so I downloaded it, and I'm like, I do not need to beat this game for either a fourth or fifth time because I can't remember if I've beat it 3 or 4 times already. I have other stuff to play that I have not played, and have certainly not finished 3 times already.
Yeah.
Um, So I put that on hold for now, and I decided to go ahead and jump into Octopath Traveler 2
Hmm.
since I'm fresh off the last game. Um, and I've been enjoying it so far. I'm only 3 characters in right now. So far, um, one of the characters is pretty good. One of them's I'll say a little generic, and then one of them the story so far seems like it's going to be a little kind of interesting. So we'll see. I mean, I wasn't sold on all the characters in the first game either until I got about halfway through the game. So um, I'm reserving judgment on these characters in the second game until I get a little deeper in. But um, yeah, I'm probably I don't know 2 hours, 3 hours in that game, so not very far at all. Um, and I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Not really. I mean, the bulk of my week, I finished up the game in Godot that I had been working on just for fun, and so now I'm moving on to something else in there, learning a little bit more about the engine. So that'll take up a decent amount of time this week as well. And that's pretty much it.
Cool. Oh man, I spent a lot of time this week doing weird shit. I'm trying to
Well,
think if there was any big game. I booted up Assassin's Creed. I played like 45 minutes of it. It is very pretty. I will give you that. Um, did I play anything else new? No. I went back and was playing a little Virtua Fighter. I was playing the Doom, the Dark Ages DLC came out, and I'm like, I really want to see if it got better, but like I felt like I need to finish like the main campaign, so I started playing a little bit of that. I still find that game a little boring at times, so I don't play like long stretches of it. I usually play like 1 or 2 campaign missions and then quit. So I'm gonna try to power through the rest of that and then play the DLC. Hopefully. I did download. Hamster's been doing a wonderful job of like bringing back old arcade games and stuff like that, and now they're doing the console ones. So I hadn't played one of these, so I decided to pick one up because they put out a really weird one this week, which was Sunsoft's Trag, which was on the PS1, and it was like their take on survival horror. So I was like, you know what, I want to see what they do to these, just to kind of get an idea because I've played a lot of the arcade archive stuff. They don't really do a lot. Unfortunately, like the game still like seems like it runs at like 240p or whatever. So it's real blurry when you play it and there's no like upscaling option, so you're just playing the original. There's not a whole lot of customization to it. So I was a little disappointed because then I was like, there are better ways to play these old games. Um it's cool that they exist and it's cool that they're pulling some really weird games out of the catalog to put up there, but I don't know that I'll buy another one unless it's like a really interesting game. So, and then I went down a rabbit hole. I was cleaning through my basement and I found my old mini PC that I used to use for my Batacera, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna install Steam OS on this just to see if I can play like some smaller games on the TV. Well, it turns out I'd already done that. I'd actually installed Chimera OS on it.
oh,
So it was already set up. So I booted that up and got it set up and started messing around with that. And then I was like, you know what? Batacera actually runs Steam. So like my emulation box can actually run Steam. And that
so you got a
PC,
Steam machine already?
yeah, so like and that mini PC is a little more powerful than the other one. That's why I upgraded. So I ended up getting Steam running on my Batacera install, and it's pretty flawless. I just select it from the menu. It logs into my Steam account. I can go to the store and pick up games. I went into my library, and it very much says like, "Hey, this works with a controller. This is supported by Steam OS." Blah blah blah. So everything worked. I downloaded Sonic Racing, the original, and was running it at 1080p at 60 frames a second on my little mini PC. So I mean, obviously, I can't play like new games, which
Right.
is fine because I play those on my Series X or my PS5.
Right.
But for like little indie games and like older stuff that's not available, this will work. So
Hmm.
yeah, you just get to tinker and you just tinker away. You find more shit to throw around.
Yeah. You may have to send me instructions for that.
For Batacera or for uh
Is it just a under the in the Batacera menu?
yeah, so if you
There's
have a
a Steam option.
Batacera install, and you're upgraded to the new version, there's a Steam tab, but it doesn't actually work. You have to go into the file manager and run Flatpak.
Okay.
And then once Flatpak runs, you just log in
Oh,
and you're
cool.
done.
All
That's
right.
it. That's all you have
Yeah.
to do.
I might. All right. I might have to check that out.
Yeah, it's
I'm
real
very,
simple.
very, very limited in what I'd be able to run on the machine that I would have it on, but it might be worth just checking it out.
Yeah, yeah. The machine that I have is good enough to run, let's say, PS2 emulation and maybe a little bit of GameCube and Xbox. So that's what the kind of the power I'm working with on that mini PC.
Yeah.
So, and that's good enough to run what I'm going to play on Steam. So, like, if there's an indie game that is not available anywhere else, I can play it
Right.
there. And like I said, 360 games like Sonic Racing worked fine. It was running great. So,
Hmm.
so yeah, I basically now have everything covered and hooked up to my TV. So I'm pretty thrilled with that.
Yeah, that's great.
Yep, I can boot that up and play a Commodore 64 game and then switch over and play a Steam game. So.
Well, now you can play that breaking game,
You know what? I'm
the
gonna have to go.
breakdancing game.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go look that up. And then just the normal shit. Um, I got back into Rock Band, played a little Overwatch. That's really about it. To be honest with you, I have a couple games that I'm playing that aren't out yet, so talk about those in the future. But let's talk about what's out this week. We've got The Alters, Last Variable. I'm assuming that's DLC. Detopia, The Crimson Maid, Cozy Grove Camp Spirit, Dinch Attack, The Mound Omen of Cthulhu, 70s style robot anime Jeppy X, Demon Castle Story, Farlands, K-pop idol stories Road to Debut, Moss the Forgotten Relic, Power Wash Simulator 2 the Star Wars pack, Puppergeist, War Tales Contact the Thief, and Wreck Runners and Jack in Space. Jack in Space. Pretty fun.
Okay.
Chicken Hair and the Treasure of the Spiking Beard.
What the fuck?
I had to read that because I'm like, what the hell is that? I feel like I need to look this up.
Where's Anthony when you need him?
Chicken.
That sounds like something he'd be all over.
What the hell is this? Chicken Hair and the Treasure of the Spiking Beard. It looks like it's a platformer, like Crash Bandicoot style, but you're a rabbit with chicken feet.
Okay. Well, why is it called chicken hair if you got chicken feet? Shouldn't it be called chicken feet?
But it's chicken
Like it's
hair, H-A-R-E.
H-A-R-E. Like,
Chicken
rabbit.
hair.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Apparently, you can also play as a skunk, according to this video. All right.
Well, that's not a chicken or a hare.
No, it's not at all. E-Baseball Pro Spirit 2026.
Apparently this is so there is a 2022 animated adventure comedy film called Chicken Hare and the Hamster of Darkness
Oh shit.
that also features a rabbit with chicken feet and feathers on his ears,
Yeah, that's the
a
same
turtle,
dude.
and a skunk.
Yeah, that's the same. That's the same stuff.
And there is a sequel to it called Chicken Hare and the Secret of the Groundhog.
What are we doing?
Yeah. Interesting. These are apparently French
Okay.
films.
So like French Pixar.
Yeah, and maybe they Chicken Hare and the Hamster Darkness and Chicken Hare and the Secret of the Groundhog. It's based on a graphic novel called Chicken Hare. From 2009. 2006, sorry.
I'm glad we've got our Chicken Hare lore podcast going on now.
Yes. So now everybody knows about the Chicken Hare extended universe.
Hell yeah. Nintendo Switch 2 gets Called Set Begins, Digimon Story Time Stranger, Go-Go Town, and Heave Ho 2. I don't know if y'all ever played Heave Ho. That's some fun shit. Me and my son played a bunch of that. You have to play it with somebody else, but that game is a shitload of fun.
Heave Ho?
Heave Ho. It's a game where basically you have two people, and it's like you've got like this physics where like you're swinging across a level, and the objective is to get from one side to the other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's real fun. So I might have to pick that up so we can play some more of that. I like stuff like that. Like have you ever played Stick Fight?
Yeah.
Stick Fight is super fun.
Rounds is also good if you like stuff like that.
I haven't played that one. I'll have to check that one out. All right. It's time to do the news. I'd like a week where we had good news. Like, I want to go back to not E3. Like, that's when things were fun. We'll talk about PlayStation as we talked a lot about them last week, but we finally have the official Xbox update. And it's a lot. There will be 3,200 people eventually laid off. 1,600 took place this week. Compulsion and Double Fine are becoming independent. They get to keep their IP, catalog, and a runway for their next game. So that's good news. That's the good part of this. Ninja Theory and Undead Labs were apparently purchased, but we have no idea who purchased them. Both of the games will be released. So I don't know who bought them. I don't know why it's a secret. That seems weird.
It's very strange.
I don't know. I do know that the State of Decay thing has basically said now that it doesn't have to come to Game Pass. So we will probably not play that game on Game Pass.
Probably not.
So Arcane Lyon is in consultation because that's required because they're in France. So
so they have to consult with this entity in France before they can be sold or restructure or really do anything.
Mm-hmm. Mo Yang and King will now report directly to Asha Sharma, which speaks of volumes about her path forward. Also, did you read the report? I don't know if it's in here, where apparently Minecraft has been subsidizing like so many other franchises instead of having the money put back into Minecraft.
Yeah, that doesn't really surprise me.
Yeah,
that's not really surprising.
According
Eventually, that golden goose, by the way, is gonna croak.
I mean, you would think it'd happen by now. Shit, Minecraft's been around for a long ass time.
It has, yep.
Well, let's not forget though, Ken, that they just added a big update to Minecraft this week. It's 17 years old, and now you can sit. You can have your character sit.
I know you joke about that, but there's probably people who got real fucking excited about that.
Yeah, I'm sure there are. Yeah.
Like
I'm sure there are also people who immediately use that to teabag people in PvP.
Of course. According to Asher Sharma, none of Xbox's first-party publicly announced games or projects are being canceled. Obviously, over the days after this was announced, they had a bunch of them that weren't announced that are probably canceled.
Yes.
What else we got here? Xbox is not cutting Game Pass funding, according to a report from Bloomberg. Also, according to Bloomberg, ZeniMax will face significant overhaul and will pivot its focus to biggest franchises, including Fallout, The Elder Scrolls, Doom, Quake, and Wolfenstein. In addition to this, apparently Microsoft told Obsidian, "You're making a Fallout," and Todd Howard was like, "I don't want them touching our series," and Xbox was like, "Well, we don't give a fuck what you want."
Yeah.
Obsidian's gonna make a fucking Fallout game. Because y'all ain't gonna make it. So.
Right.
Blade.
Yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I hope that this means good things for Elder Scrolls and Fallout. And I hope that what I hope it doesn't mean is that everybody gets the whip cracked on them so hard that they put out an Elder Scrolls and Fallout and it's subpar.
Yeah. We want these games to come out, but we also want them to be good. So.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, there's a difference between, hey, we're going to reprioritize resources to work on these games, and we're going to reprioritize resources to work on these games, and we want them out by X.
Yeah.
So hopefully the games still end up good. I mean, it is insane that, as I mentioned on the Discord the other day, that we are. It has been since 13
for Fallout
for
or
Skyrim.
For Skyrim, yeah.
For the last mainline Elder Scrolls game. I'm not counting all the remakes. Here we go. I've got my thing here. So it has been 5 years since Halo Infinite, which is crazy. It does not feel like it's been 5 years since Halo Infinite.
Mm-hmm.
7 years since Gears 5. 11 years since Fallout 4. 4 years since Quake Champions, but Ken says Quake Champions doesn't count.
No, Quake Champions doesn't count.
7 years since Wolfenstein Youngblood. 15 years since Skyrim.
And if I'm being fair, Youngblood doesn't count either. Like.
Okay, then it's been even longer since we've had a Wolfenstein game.
Yeah, Youngblood was a spin-off and it wasn't very good.
Yeah, so, I mean, you got to think that, for it to have been that long without a new instance in your biggest franchises, yeah, you got to reprioritize a little bit.
Yeah.
But that also, I'm going to play devil's advocate here, just because I like being a dick sometimes. The Elder Scrolls devs earlier this week came out and said that the Xbox layoffs will have substantial and cascading effects on the game's already long development. That game was announced originally in 2018.
It was.
That's 8 years ago.
Yeah.
So they've been trying to develop this game for 8 years. Are they dragging their feet, or are they? Come on.
I think
there's AAA titles that come out in less time than that, and we're talking about Elder Scrolls 6. The groundwork was mostly laid with the other Elder Scrolls games. I mean,
even with Starfield,
how many years of lore do they have already built into a game? Why are we at year 8 and they're going, well, it's going to be, it's going to be longer.
No, I think to say that Elder Scrolls 6 has been in development for 8 years is probably not correct.
That was probably pre-planning.
It's been announced for 8 years.
It was announced for 8 years. It's probably been developing longer, don't you think?
No, I don't think so.
No,
I think they were pressured to put out that flyover trailer. If you notice, that trailer had nothing in it except the flyover.
It was for shareholders.
Yeah, they were pressured to put that out for shareholders. I think there's probably been some planning work and writing work ongoing. I don't think there's been any. I definitely don't think there's been substantial development work happening on that game for 8 years because I think um, Bethesda has been spread between Starfield, Fallout 76, and TES Online. So I think probably the actual hardcore development has been much less than 8 years. I do think that like I understand their concept of we're going to move some people around and try to help speed this development along. But yeah, laying people off is almost always going to affect stuff that's already in process.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think the one thing that I don't know, I hate to use the word good thing that could come out of this is maybe these developers will stop, you know, announcing these things, so far in advance that, by the time it comes around and shit happens. I mean, life happens, folks. We don't know if the industry's going to crash tomorrow and nothing comes out. But in the meantime, you've got people that are expecting these games to come out any day, and these developers taking 8, 10, 12 years. Whatever happened to announce a game a year before it's comes out? It's
Yeah,
it's it's
I'm
been it's been a problem for many years, but I'm hoping that maybe some of this will kind of stymie some of these early announcements that lead to nothing. Because yeah, I mean, a developer could be shut down tomorrow, and we would never know.
But yeah, publishers and platform holders, by the way, is what's happened. The for the most part, I think most of the developers would prefer to not announce this stuff
Hmm.
8 years in advance. But their publishers and their platform holders, and Sony and Microsoft, in the case of their first party studios, are the ones who announce this so they have something to show at the Keighleys, right, or something to show at some other game conference. I think if, for the most part, if the developers had their way, the guys who are actually developing the game, they would wait until the very last minute to announce the stuff. But the marketing teams and the executives want to be able to at least put something out to try to get the hype train started. Um, it's tough to be in marketing at a publisher if you don't announce anything until 2 months before it comes out. So those guys those guys are pushing to get stuff announced as soon as possible so they can try and create their endless hype cycle.
Yeah, but I
Um,
mean, but the amount of negative press that comes about when something like this happens after, years of announcements and people, expecting, people's expectations, things like that, as a, business, you would think that they would want to be cautious, a little more cautious, and maybe that's what will come out of this, when it comes to, these kind of announcements. Yeah, maybe 8 years is a little too early to announce something that won't come out for God only knows what, maybe 2 or 3 more years. Um, but maybe they could get it down to where we make an announcement 2 to 3 years ahead of a game, as opposed to, because you can still build your marketing. If you have a good marketing department, it doesn't take that long to build as much hype. Whereas, all you end up doing is piss people off if you announce it too early and then you go dormant for, you know, 3 or 4 years. I mean, we
yeah,
saw
great.
that with Metroid 4. They released the splash screen of the logo, and then we heard nothing about that game for what, 5 6 years. So I mean, it's kind of twofold if you think about it. I mean, it's good business. Yes, you want the hype because hype builds consumer confidence, but in the same sense, hype can also build negativity if you don't produce. So I mean, it's kind of double-edged sword.
Yeah, 100% agree. I think what you probably see a lot of time here is some internal politics playing themselves out in a public forum where you have folks on one side who want to announce it, A, so that they can say that something is coming, and B, there's probably also a little piece of it that's like, hey, if we announce this, it puts more pressure on the development team to try to get this done faster, which it doesn't always work. Doesn't a lot of times work, I don't
Right.
think. But
More often than not, it seems to be
yeah,
failing.
to me, the 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 long cycle between announcement and actual delivery of a game is more to do with busted communications and internal politics at a studio or between a studio and a publisher than it is about anything else. It's there's dysfunction either internally between in the studio itself or between the studio and its publisher when that kind of stuff happens. How often do we hear about these games that have long cycles between when they were originally announced and when they actually launch that end up having such long cycles because some higher up at EA or Activision or Xbox or Sony comes in and says, "Hey, I know you've been making this game, but we'd rather you make XYZ instead. Add this feature, add this feature. Hey, we've got to be able to,
And then the
we've got to
game's
add
completely
this."
different than what it was originally
100%,
announced or what people's expectations were. Yeah. No, I think
100%.
that happens a lot. I keep, I'm of the age where I'm really starting to miss the shadow drops. It's kind of like I would much rather be surprised that something's out than, get my hopes up, there's so many games out there. How long has GTA 6 been announced? We knew it was coming, but when? And look at the hype train that has built over that game. And, I really hope it lives up to its expectations because there's a lot of people banking on that being like the game of the decade. I mean, it's crazy the amount of hype going on for a game that we know nothing about. And we'll get a 3-second clip or a screenshot of something and people analyze every little detail about these games. And it's like, we don't know anything about this game yet.
It's so. I agree with you guys about the hype cycle. The thing is that the examples that you're using both have their own stories behind them. GTA, it doesn't matter. GTA
Yeah,
going to GTA.
Sure.
yeah.
Now, when it comes to
I mean,
Starfield,
Rockstar's got their own thing going.
exactly. When it comes to Starfield, I can tell you exactly what happened, why that was announced, and it's what Wombat talked about, which was the flyover. There was no game; it wasn't in development. If you remember at that time, ZeniMax and Bethesda were in financial trouble.
They were.
Todd Howard was like, I want to make my space game, and they're like, well, that's not hype. The Elder Scrolls is hype. This was before Xbox bought them, and they're like, well, we have to show there's something coming that's going to make us a lot of money. Otherwise, we're gonna have a problem with the shareholders, which is why the Elder Scrolls had, this little flyover demo. Hey, it's coming.
Right. They wanted to make sure
forced.
everybody knew they didn't forget it.
Yes.
Or that they weren't pivoting to Starfield permanently.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the ZeniMax got bought in what, 2020?
Yeah, I think it was around 2020. Yeah.
Right. So.
And that was why they did it, is so they could last long enough for somebody to buy them, because they knew they were in trouble. So, and you sit here and you think, how can a studio with the Elder Scrolls, Doom, Quake, and fucking Fallout be in trouble? That's because Todd wanted to make a space game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
the thing about yeah. Well, that's the thing about modern AAA game development is it doesn't matter who you are. If you put out one shitty game that's expensive to make, you're fucked. I mean, that's just the reality of the situation. I mean, how many people thought BioWare was indestructible?
Yeah.
And now look at them, right?
Now they're a shell. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, the one big swing and a miss, and you're in trouble. Now, thankfully, Starfield wasn't exactly a replacement for the Elder Scrolls, but it was successful enough.
It sold quite a bit, yeah.
yeah, they're not in trouble. But it definitely feels like they would have been much better off if we were all playing TES 6 2 years ago instead of Starfield.
Yeah,
Was it 2 years
unfortunately,
ago?
yeah, it was.
When did that game
It
come
might
out?
have been 3 years ago.
24 or 23? I can't remember.
Yeah,
But somebody's yelling at the computer right now.
yeah.
Let's see, Starfield 23. So
Yeah,
three
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 years
years ago.
ago. Yeah. Yeah, and
Um,
unfortunately, it's at the stage of the things that we grew up saying we wanted happened, and it was not good for the industry.
yeah,
We wanted people to be able to make what they wanted. We wanted new IP. We wanted millions of games to come out, and all of those things are not financially viable in the era of Roblox slash Minecraft slash Fortnite, whatever. It just
yep.
it doesn't work anymore. Like when we were growing up and playing these games, selling a million copies meant you did really well. Now selling a million
Sure.
copies is like, well, where's the rest?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it's if your game makes 50 million in revenue and it costs you 10 million to make, that's crazy good.
Mm-hmm.
If your game makes 50 million in revenue and it costs you 200 to make,
Yeah.
that's not good.
No.
So the shit's too expensive, and the shit's too expensive train
Well,
is not just here for consumers. It's
I was gonna
it's
say
here
it's
for
only going to get
developers as
worse
well. Yeah,
because it's only going to get worse because as the cost that we see go up, I mean, these guys are developing these things on what? Computers. They're using memory, they're using RAM, they're using all, servers, all that stuff is going to be cost reflective, going forward. So, I mean, a game that 10 years ago would have cost them, 5 million to make is going to probably be closer to like, 50 million in
well,
going
yeah,
forward.
and it's not just
So it
the
makes it
all
even
that
harder for them to make a profit off of this stuff.
100%, and it takes longer and it takes more man hours to
Mm-hmm.
build the kind of character models and environments that you see in games that we have now compared to, the Nintendo 64. It's all of it's more expensive, right? So, which is why, you're going to see, I think at some point, a pivot to a much smaller number of AAA games and hopefully a much larger number of, you know, smaller, more reasonably sized games.
Yeah, we need to step back from
Uh,
this Last of Us model where everything has to be hyper detailed and hyper like realistic and spending 6 months to make a physic that 99% of people who play the game ain't even going to see.
That's the
Have our
that's the
jiggle
crazy thing is
physics.
the the industry for so long has been obsessed with visual fidelity, um, and m millions and millions and millions and millions of people play fucking Roblox, and that
Yeah,
game looks like ass on a cracker.
yeah, 100%.
The two of the most popular games in the world right now are Minecraft and Roblox,
And they look like
and
ass,
yeah, I mean Minecraft looks better than Roblox, but
but it still looks like something
It's
from
not
the
still,
saying
64
much.
days.
yeah,
Yeah,
Right.
it's not visual fidelity isn't the highest priority, right?
Well,
And
I
it
think I think too though, but we have also gotten ourselves to a plateau. I mean, how much better can they make things look to the point where is it even worth it? Is it even
it's
worth
not worth it.
I
wasting
don't think it's
those
worth it now.
resources?
No,
Right.
it's
I
not
mean,
worth it now.
and I
No.
think that's where, I've gone on record to say that, it's like, give me a good story and a good mechanics and I'm sold. It doesn't have to be AAA looking, 4K 60, whatever. I can have just as much fun with a much smaller experience as long as the story is intriguing and keeps you locked in. And I think in general, that's the view of most gamers. I mean, look at the crap that some people play. It's obvious that we don't have to have, the 4K fidelity running at 120 hertz 100% of the time. Yeah, it looks nice. It's nice to play every once in a while, but the vast majority of gamers aren't playing those games forever.
Well, so
So, I mean,
this is an our generation problem.
Hmm.
This
sure.
is I mean, we're the
Well,
generation who started in large part with Atari, and then made our
right.
way to NES and Super NES, and we got used to all these huge graphical leaps, right?
Well, every time a
And
new console came out, we were like, "Wow, this is the future!
look at the
Wow,
way
this
it
is the
looks,
future!" I
right?
mean, look
Yeah,
how it looks. Yeah, we
yeah.
again, yeah, it was our generation problem, like you said, because we wanted it to be better. We wanted it to look more realistic, but then we kind of have reached that, and the industry keeps going. Well, we're going to do more. We're going to do more. It's like, no, 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 no. You're missing it. We're there.
Well,
Let's focus on story. Let's focus on
Well, I mean,
other things.
the perfect
But
example is happening right now. Name me a reason you need a Series X or a PS5.
there isn't one. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's
mm-mm.
the I mean, so the we are the reason I keep saying that this sort of change is on offer in terms of the types of games that start getting made and released isn't just the fact that everything's too fucking expensive. That's part of it.
Hmm.
Um, but the Minecraft Roblox generation is rapidly approaching adulthood. In some cases, already is at adulthood,
Hmm.
and is going to be the generation that starts to have disposable income and starts to be a more outsized force in the types of games that get bought. And these guys, these are kids who've grown up playing Roblox, Minecraft, Mecha Chameleon, Repo, right? All these games that are not, pushing the boundaries of visual fidelity. And so they're going to have different expectations for what games look like. And there's going to be a lot of folks in our generation who are going to be very surprised by the amount of influence our generation loses over the next 10 years.
Oh, I think we've already
Um,
lost a ton
because
of it.
we
Yeah.
have folks in our age range have had all the leverage in what gaming does
Hmm.
for a very long time, and we're gonna lose that real quick. We've already started to lose it real quick, but we're gonna lose it even faster as more of the generation behind us develops disposable income. And you're going to see the industry change dramatically, just like it did in the early 2000s, when our generation started to be the one that had an outside influence. Um, so yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll see what it looks like, but I think the the industry that we see even in 5 years is probably a lot different than what we see right now.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you right there because, like, the things that we want are not going to matter going forward.
No, don't
And
matter at all. I
we,
mean, yeah,
it's just like the stuff we talked about this back when Sony was spending like $300 million on Spider-Man. That shit ain't gonna fly in the future.
no, definitely
It
not. Yeah,
barely flew when we were spending money on it.
right.
So
Yeah, I mean, Minecraft. Um, Minecraft started in what, probably 2010,
hmm
2009 in beta, right? Um, that it's my son and your son's generation,
yeah,
Ken.
100%.
Um, so and
Mine as well. Yeah,
yeah, I mean, my son plays uh,
I have a son that still
Rainbow
plays it.
Six, but yeah, I mean, they all play Roblox, they all play Minecraft, they all play, all these um multiplayer
My
extraction games and that kind of stuff. And
my oldest played Minecraft and he's now 30. So it's been around a
right,
while. It's been
yeah,
around a while.
yeah. I remember playing the beta of it way back in the
Yeah,
day.
Yeah,
same.
Yeah, me too.
And
It was literally like playing Legos. You just built shit, and
Mhm.
yep,
it was, everybody's like, "Oh, this game will never last. This game's terrible." Look at it now. Now you can
yep.
sit.
I mean, we used to
Now you can
joke,
sit.
Wombat and I used to joke when Roblox was getting popular, like, why would anybody play this? This looks like. That's all my son does. He makes games in Roblox.
Yep. My
That's
son is almost exclusively play. I shouldn't say almost exclusively. He plays a lot on Roblox.
I guess
He
thankfully I missed that part with my kids were a little older, so they never got into the Roblox thing. So now I have to compete for my son to get off playing Overwatch, Ken, of all things.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's not a real game.
my,
I can't
my son
freaking get him
thinks
off that
Roblox or
game.
my son thinks Overwatch sucks.
Well, your son is wrong and right at the same time. Yeah, who would play a game for 10 years and not play anything else? I don't know that person.
Yeah, well, ask the people that are still playing World of Warcraft
Jesus Christ, I remember when that came out.
22 years later.
Yeah.
All right, we still got a lot more to go through here. Blade has been delayed internally and went over budget, so basically any other AAA game. According to Bloomberg, one of the biggest problems at Xbox was the 14 layers of management. When you say that out loud, that's insane. Imagine going in and having to have something approved through 14 people.
That shows you how ineffective at least 10 layers of those management is.
Yes.
But that's not uncommon in large corporations.
It's definitely not.
I work for one of those, and I'd be surprised if it was only 15, to be blatantly honest.
Speaking of Obsidian, 25% of their workforce was laid off. Avowed has been canceled and uncanceled and still worked. I don't know what's going on with Avowed 2, to be 100%
Who knows what's
honest.
going on with Avowed 2? Yeah, it's the last word I heard was we're still working on it internally, even though we don't have any budget for it. We're just kind of somebody's hacking away at it.
Yeah, until Xbox rolls in and they're like, you guys are working on Fallout, and all of you are working on Fallout.
Yeah.
What else we got? id Software was a big one. Like 136 people were laid off. According to id themselves, in a press release, they said they have the same size team as what made Doom 2016. Again, the truth is probably somewhere in the middle.
Well, I mean, think about it. If they've got the same team that they had, or same size team that they did 2016, that's one of the better Dooms anyway. So
I mean, in my opinion, that's the best of the new trilogy. But people seem to want to praise Eternal, but I still think 2016 is the GOAT. That doesn't mean that I'm happy people got laid off. That is not what I'm saying at all.
No. I mean, that's never a good thing. But in the same sense, I mean,
apparently there is a new Doom in the works. So
right.
Xbox is also moving into more exclusive territory because Asha wants to give people a reason to buy the box. It is crazy how she has come in and within 200 days has basically undid everything Phil Spencer did.
Pretty much, yeah.
Because it was clearly not working. The bet on Game Pass, and the Game Pass conversation has been big this week because people are like, oh, we told you it was a bad thing. It was a bad thing. Here's the thing. You can sit there and say this is a bad thing, this is a bad thing. But when that thing was in its prime, that is the best consumer thing any company has done in a long time.
Yeah, it was very, very consumer friendly for sure.
Yeah. So, like, you out here celebrating that a consumer friendly thing is going away, that's not a good thing. It is clearly it was managed improperly, but we should still not be celebrating less good things for us because we don't get a whole lot nowadays.
Yeah, the problem is I think the merger and acquisition spree that Xbox went on, as opposed to allocating resources toward, paying developers to put their shit in Game Pass versus just trying to buy as much content as they could. is where we're at now. By the way, I'm going to mention it again because I don't see it mentioned enough in all of these different articles and all this shit. The $69 billion with a B, that they spent on Activision Blizzard is a huge part of the reason that Xbox is in the position that they're in right now.
You just read my mind. I was literally just thinking, how do we feel about that Activision Blizzard deal now?
$69 billion.
That's what started the snowball of Phil getting fired.
100%.
You can't spend $69 billion and then expect Double Fine to boost subscriptions. Like,
the thing about, and everybody who's ever worked for a corporation, big or small, understands this. And if you've worked for a big one, you understand it more than most. Spending or investing a small amount of money on relatively small projects, there's so many layers of management to that point, they don't even fucking notice. I bet the top executives at Microsoft don't give a shit about every studio they bought for $4 or $5 billion. They don't care. But you can't spend the kind of money that they spent on Activision and go through the kind of regulatory headache and all the legal fees that I'm sure got spent to acquire Activision and not end up with a target on your back.
Mm-hmm.
That absolutely put an internal spotlight on the Xbox division that probably didn't exist before.
Let's not forget that they went through the whole court thing as well. So I mean, it was not just
that's why I said all the lawyers,
public spotlight
from a regulatory standpoint. Yeah.
I mean, that was just a PR nightmare all the way around. I mean, it was ridiculous.
It was a big mistake, I think.
And they've
done nothing with it.
Yeah, and then they fuck around and when we talked about it initially, it was like, yeah, this is fucked up. But at the same time, you're like, the consumer part of it, like all the Call of Duties will be in Game Pass, all these Crash Bandicoot games will be in Game Pass. They still ain't even fucking done that shit.
No, they haven't done anything. Mm-mm. And they would absolutely be trying to sell Activision off if they hadn't paid so much for it.
Yeah, and if Call of Duty wasn't generating them money, and as well as King, sure. I think King is the bigger one here.
King's the big one, yeah.
But I mean, at this point, who's going to buy Activision? Even if they were to try and sell it, there's nobody out there that is going to pay.
No, you'd have to hope that they could be independent again.
See, if Microsoft hadn't bought them, if Microsoft hadn't bought them, they were going to get sold anyway, and it would have went to one of those Chinese or Saudi conglomerates.
And it probably would have been a hell of a lot cheaper too.
No, they would have sold for the same price. Just because I don't think we as gamers, we talk about Roblox and Minecraft bringing in money. You have no idea how much money King brings in.
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Like, that is the thing they wanted. That is the moneymaker there. And what it is that King and Call of Duty have been subsidizing everything in Microsoft right now. So that's why you see, basically, you remember when Phil walked out at E3 and rattled off those 5 studios or whatever it was? 4 of those are gone.
Yep.
The only one that stays is what, Playground?
Playground, yep.
Like, everything else he bought is gone in that swoop. And it was him trying to make Game Pass the Netflix of gaming, and then you tap out at 34 million subscribers. That's not enough.
Yeah, I mean, all the this is an Xbox stuff.
Oh, that was a fucked up thing.
All of that was 100% because you run out of people who can subscribe.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, well, if we're out of people who own an Xbox who can subscribe to Game Pass, how many people own Samsung TVs?
Yeah.
Well, we'll try and use that. How many people own this sort of a PC? Well, a whole bunch of people. Well, we'll go into that. It was all about Game Pass market expansion.
The only way,
because you run out of people.
The only way you're going to get Game Pass successful on PC is if you somehow get it integrated with Steam.
Yeah, and which is I mean
It's never going to
that's a
happen.
huge.
Like,
It's not
so, like
the
PC gamers, for better or for worse, are 100%. If it's on Steam, I'll fuck with it. If
Yep.
it's not on Steam, it's a secondary thought. That's just the way it is. And you know what? Like everything else Microsoft has done, they're probably 5 to 10 years too early. Eventually, people will be playing games streamed to their TV. It just ain't today. It's just not. So, I don't know, man. It's going to be scary going forward.
it's going to be a rocky industry over the next couple of years.
Yeah, things are going to change drastically. And both Ubisoft and Xbox have also mentioned like we need shorter dev cycles.
Yep.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, I mean it's kind of like saying we need a longer revenue cycle and a shorter cost cycle. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah. All
That's
right.
kind of how everything works.
That's kind of this. I mean, there's a lot more going on at Xbox, but I don't want to spend all day going through the shit. It's nasty. Here's the thing. I hope it works because we need Xbox in the industry. Because when Xbox isn't doing anything, we see what Sony is doing right now, which that is still going on.
Yeah. It sure is.
The Don't Kill the Disc petition has now reached 270,000 signatures, and I don't know if you guys saw this. NBC News reported on this, which is insane.
Yeah, it's made national news.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna tell you right now, it ain't changing.
No,
they're doing this.
This has been a long time coming.
Yeah.
I mean, I think all game companies have been trying for this for years, trying to figure out when they can make that transition. Sony just was the first one to open their mouths.
Yeah, I mean, in some ways, the gaming industry is one of the last entertainment fields to have completely stripped the concept of ownership away. Because it happened in music and movies a very long time ago.
Yeah, but I think the NBC News article did mention that like you can still buy CDs, you can still buy records, you can still buy Blu-ray movies.
I mean,
whereas,
and I think probably we'd be surprised at how many people are still doing that. But
oh, sure.
I mean, the reality is the bulk of content these days gets consumed on streaming services.
100%. Like Anthony said the other day, you'd be shocked that DVDs are still the most popular video medium, not Blu-rays, DVDs. Yeah. So, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. I feel like every time we turn around, there's something bad going on. And this is truly PlayStation. PlayStation hasn't had to say a word since they made this announcement, and people are pissed. And
pissed.
It's not going to matter. It's not. So I don't know, man. So what's Nintendo doing? I don't know.
I don't know.
According to this Nintendo news, the battery thing in Europe, you'll be able to replace your battery in your Switch. That made news.
Yeah, I was waiting for that because it's happened to Apple and everybody else.
Yeah. Didn't I also see that Apple sued OpenAI? Didn't I put that in there?
Yes, they did. Yeah. For what do you call it?
Stealing intellectual property or something.
Right.
Like, of course it steals intellectual property. That's what AI do.
It's a plagiarism machine.
Yeah. Like, did you not think that was going to happen?
Yeah. Apparently, though, it did go a little bit farther in that not only were they, I think, asking former Apple employees who interviewed with OpenAI for details, like secret stuff. But it sounds like they're accusing an OpenAI employee of actually stealing documents from an Apple employee's laptop, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, I mean, when you build a company that steals, you shouldn't be surprised when it steals.
Yeah. And if you thought it wasn't going to steal that much, I mean, like my parents used to tell me, I would give you an inch, you'll take a fucking mile.
Yeah.
Mario Kart Tour is also ending service on September 29th. So. We also keep forgetting that the PlayStation stores are shutting down on the PS3 and the Vita, but that's fine.
Yep.
What are we doing? What are we doing? Speaking of what are we doing, Ubisoft Barcelona laid off 51 people that worked on Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced on launch day.
Once again, it's that Parks and Rec gif. Make a bad game, fired. Make a great game, believe it or not, also fired.
Yeah, the result is the same everywhere.
Yeah.
And I got nothing left. I think I'm gonna read some tweets and some emails and just go play some old fucking video games because this is just depressing.
It is depressing. This
is straight up sucks. Bring up the email. Probably should have had that up, but this is how we roll.
This is how we roll.
All right. I think it's from Peter too.
Okay.
So if I remember correctly, did I log in? Yeah, I logged into the wrong email account. I do that sometimes. Oh, we have several emails. Holy shit, this is more than one I checked yesterday. Peter did send the first email. He says, "Hi, Chuckleheads. Hope your summers are going well. I don't know about you all, but I miss the days of being a kid when that meant unlimited Nintendo time at home or playing my Game Gear, traveling with family. I had the cigarette lighter power adapter." I had to explain to my son the other day what that thing was. Because, cars don't come with cigarette lighters anymore.
No, they don't.
He's like, "What was that for?" I was like, "You used to light your cigarettes off that."
Yep.
Now it's just a power thing.
Yep.
He says, "I finished Kirby in the Forgotten Land that I got from the library. It was fantastic.
I love that game. Yeah, it's a great game.
Borrowing it from the library was nice, not only because it was free, but also because I had a time limit on my access to the game. It took me back when I used to rent games as a kid, which forced me to focus on one game for a while. Yep. I have Atari 50 and Kirby Star Allies that I'm borrowing now. Brother, you ain't gonna get through all of Atari 50. That shit's like 153 games.
Yeah. Kirby Star Allies, by the way, also great.
I agree with Ryan about the advantages of creating with limitations. Nintendo does this the best. Ken, thank you for making the connection of Switch 2 benefiting from games that were developed for Xbox One S. I think he meant 100%. Series S.
Yep.
I just picked up No Man's Sky on sale for $20 for Switch. I played it when it launched on Xbox, but didn't get into it back then. I'm really enjoying it now. I would not have gone back if it weren't for you guys mentioning it on the show. Thank you.
I tell you what, it's a radically different game than it was back when it launched.
I tell you what, if Sean Murray and Hello Games were smart, they would make a version of that original game and let people go back and play it.
Yeah.
Just to see
how crazy. Yeah.
Like, that would be awesome. He says,
those guys, speaking of developers, right? Those guys have just been doing shit for free for 12 years now? 10 years?
Yeah, that game came out on PS4. Yeah.
Was it 2015 that it came out?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Something like that? Yeah.
And they're just like, here's another update with a whole bunch of free shit.
Here's another update that we worked on that you don't have to pay us for.
He says, I also picked up Hasbro Game Night, which has Risk, Monopoly, and Trivial Pursuit for $10. Risk is so great. I have it on so many platforms. How do you find time to finish a game of Risk?
Dude, I fucking love Risk, but I haven't finished a game of Risk in a long time.
Have you
That
ever?
it's amazing how many. Oh yeah, but it's amazing how many games of Risk end in fuck it.
Fuck it, you
Um,
win.
yeah, but I probably haven't played a full game of Risk since I was in high school.
I was gonna say I've seen my wife play it, and it's just like, bro, does this ever end? Christ. He says, I know this podcast is about video games, but how did you like Backrooms, Ken? I saw it and I thought it was great. Reminded me of I saw the TV glow. I read that they used techniques from the game, using VHS filters to make low-budget CGI feel more immersive and real. Another great example of creating within limitations. Love the show, love you. I think I talked about Backrooms on the show at one point. Like, I liked the movie itself. I just felt like when it came time to explain what the fuck was going on, they just kind of rolled credits.
Mm.
And I'm like, I feel like I needed more of a closure for that. Like, you just showed me some messed up stuff. What happened? Why did that
Oh, what
happen?
happened? Yeah.
Oh. All right. Next email comes from Daryl. He says, hello, Chuckleheads. We are the Chucklehead Podcast. I want you to know.
Yes.
Just a quick comment about Sony stepping on as many rakes as Xbox. So, Sony is shutting down some of their disc manufacturing factories and will not be producing any physical PS5 discs for their system, first or third party, after 1/1/2028. Good job, knuckleheads. So roll with me for a minute. Set aside the memes and usual narrative here. Okay, here we go. Xbox has shit the bed even more than the orange turd. Probably not.
Probably not.
It stepped on more rakes than my local Home Depot sells. But are 35 plus million Xbox users, and could be more as that figure is well over a year ago, and also an estimate. And Xbox still has a bunch of great first-party games coming out, including Gears of War, Call of Duty, Clockwork Revolution, and then later Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Halo, and Forza, and other. Actually, Halo's coming before everything else. That shit's out in like 2 weeks.
The remake, yeah.
Yes. What if they continue to produce physical games for their first-party games and third-party games after 2028 when Sony stops theirs? Does Microsoft make physical games now? That's my question.
I don't know. I mean, I have bought several physical Xbox games, but they were not Microsoft first party. So I haven't bought a Microsoft first party game since Game Pass launched. So most people are probably also in that boat.
That's the other thing we didn't talk about in the news, is that the rumor is that disc to digital thing is rolling out this fucking week.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So I will be very interested. It's obviously going to be in the beta ring first for people to test it, but I'm very interested in this because you can buy some cheap ass discs right now for Xbox One and Series games.
Yep.
Just load that shit up digital, man. You're good to go.
Yep.
What if they continue to produce physical games for their first party and third? Okay, after 20, there will be lots of games coming out which could have physical copies for their system for the Xbox and only physical on Xbox. Would that move the needle? I think it would a bit at least. Why wouldn't Xbox do that? It's the only thing they can do to sway some gamers. Just a thought, because most people think physical is dead after 2028, but Xbox may still be there and will play all games except Nintendo's hentai soft porn crap.
So I agree to the extent that it might help them among physical game enthusiasts. The two negatives towards that are that most of even the people who are very enthusiastic about physical games, if they don't already own an Xbox, probably aren't going to switch to Xbox based on that change because it's fucking expensive to buy a system right now.
Yes.
The second thing is that Xbox was sort of the first one that was pushing for everything to be, or at least most things to be digital, and that's supported by Game Pass. They've spent the last 10 years trying to get everybody to play all their shit on Game Pass, where it's all digital, right? It's not like GameFly where they're not mailing you Game Pass games. Those have been digital the whole time. So now, as they change direction, and as some of the focus comes off of Game Pass and Play Anywhere and all of that, Do they, could they pick up some folks by making that pivot? Maybe. My take would be that the executives at Xbox probably feel the same way about physical games as the executives at Sony do.
100%.
So I would bet against them making that pivot. The only thing that would cause them to make that pivot is if they felt like it would let them get one over on Sony. But I think probably this disc to digital thing gives them that anyway.
Yeah, I think that's why they're pushing it out so fast.
Yeah, so I wouldn't bet. I wouldn't bet on Microsoft suddenly becoming a champion of physical games after the last decade of trying to get people to move away from it. I think probably they'll get their win over Sony with this disc to digital thing, and they probably are just as happy about physical games going away as Sony is. So
no, 100%.
I don't imagine you will see much of a shift there.
No, I 100% agree with you. And to kind of add to that, I know people don't like it when I say this. You physical, connoisseurs, you're a very small piece of the pie.
I know, and I'm one of them, but yeah. I know.
It's one of those things. It's not going to make it. It's like you said. It's not going to move the needle at all.
It doesn't. I do think. So that the angle on this that I haven't seen discussed as much, is that the more expensive everything gets, the more people might be interested in physical games again.
Yeah.
Because they're, as you mentioned, generally cheaper.
Yes.
Than digital stuff. So I don't know what you might see with this disc to digital thing. You might see a whole bunch of people running out to buy Xbox Series games physically if they can, because go to GameStop and pick them up for half price or cheaper compared to what they are digitally. So you may see a whole lot more people regretting the lack of physical games than you might otherwise because everything's so expensive.
Yeah, and to follow up on that point as well, another easy win for Microsoft, and I know they have the structure to do this, give some rights to your fucking digital games.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what people want, is they want to feel like if I bought it, I own it, not you can take it away kind of thing.
Yeah, it's yeah. The right to re-download in perpetuity is a big technical problem to fix.
And I don't trust PlayStation to fix that with their shoddy infrastructure.
No, I mean they've already proven that they won't, because if you don't download your PS3 shit before the store closes, you're screwed.
Yeah.
And if you don't, even if you do, they've got this movie thing going on too, where they revoked rights to the digitally purchased movies. So, there's a big technical problem to fix there in how you make sure that people have access to this stuff in perpetuity if they bought it digitally. The answer might be, you say, which they already do, right? If you've bought it digitally, as long as you're storing it physically, you can play it forever. Meaning storing it physically, meaning it's on your hard drive.
Mm-hmm.
But hard drive space is so freaking expensive too.
I've never more appreciated the fact that I bogarted fucking external drives in my life.
Right.
I'm sitting on a gold mine over here, baby.
Yeah. Shit's expensive.
Steven, you changed. You sound different. Why? What's up?
Oh, look at that.
That's crazy, because that's my middle name.
You come in when we're reading emails. What's up?
I figured it was at the end. I was just coming in to tell everybody have a good week. Man, yeah, it's my daughter's car. Man, listen, I hate when you go to change something on the car because you always need something else, because the brake, the little caliper pin fucking broke. So I had to go. We went to 4 different places, like car places or like AutoZone shops to try to find one. And the last one ended up having it stuff. It was a journey, but she learns how to do it now. So this is a good time.
Nice.
It's all good. So yeah.
Well, welcome to the end of the show. We're happy to have you.
Yeah. Hey man, listen, if the people made it this far, you got a little treat. You got a little Magnus cameo.
Got a little bonus.
Yeah.
All right, we got one more email and then we got tweets. Man, we got a lot of interaction today. It's crazy.
People are excited. Yeah.
Antonio writes in, he says, the last physical PlayStation game I bought was Mass Effect Andromeda back in 2017.
I own that.
The last physical Xbox game I bought was Wolfenstein Youngblood back in 2019. I still buy physical Nintendo games on occasion since I only buy games exclusive to that system. I did find it funny looking at YouTube thumbnails of a few YouTubers such as Angry Joe, and they're holding up random copies of games of previous generations with no current gen games in hand. Yeah, that was very funny. Don't take away our discs, but we didn't buy any of this gen. Then whose fucking fault is it?
Yeah.
And then Walmart Canada on Twitter posted a pic with a caption, thinking about the gaming aisle. And it's all pics of the gaming aisles from the PS3 360 era. Because the aisles now look like they're suffering from anorexia. That is true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it sucks, but I knew this was coming. I think that Helix will have such a tougher time because of production issues. Xbox is having a much harder time securing components because they basically lost their place in line when they scaled back production on Series X/S consoles. And then there's rumblings that Helix could be an OEM device, which would be a terrible move. Anyways, I just saw the Pro North Carolina data center commercial, and now my day is already ruined. Cheers.
Yeah, I mean, definitely physical media has scaled way back in the last 5 years. That's absolutely indisputable, completely fair and valid point. I just think even if you haven't bought physical media this generation, it should still give you pause that the erosion in ownership should still give you pause, even if most of your media is digital, because once the concept of ownership is completely eliminated, there's less holding any of these platform holders back from really ratcheting down what it means to buy a digital game. Because that while physical media existed, there was a certain standard that buying digital media had to live up to because there was still a physical option possible. As soon as that doesn't exist, you could see a pretty dramatic shift in what it means to actually buy something digitally on any of these storefronts, because there's no least common denominator anymore that they have to solve for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, this podcast has been depressing as fuck. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, I'm like, dang.
You missed all the Xbox talk.
Was showing up.
Yeah. You missed all the Xbox and PlayStation talk during the news. Like, fuck.
Terrence is like, man, I showed up just to get depressed.
Right.
Don't feel bad. We've been depressed the whole show. Other than the 25-minute Assassin's Creed conversation, which always happens when that game comes up.
We did always have fun. We did have a fun Assassin's Creed conversation that you missed.
Oh, I'm sure.
All right.
Big fan.
Blue Sky and tweets. Blue Sky, we have a couple messages from Settled Falcon. He says, how would you rate Asha Sharma's work so far? Was it better to be an Xbox fan during the Spencer era?
Well, yeah. Well, it's number one. It's a little early.
Yeah, I was gonna say we don't know what's gonna happen.
Has really played itself out yet.
Yeah.
I will say it was probably better to be a consumer under Phil. It was also probably better to be a developer under Phil.
Yeah.
But it's early to see.
It's bad. It was bad to be a business under Phil.
Yeah, right. I'm sure if you're an Xbox executive, you probably love it.
Yeah. Phil's gone. We could stop spending money.
Yeah.
Turn the faucet off.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Phil did some good things, but then I feel like he just fell off after the Series X came out. I don't know. Like, his run with the Xbox One, where he kind of saved it, I will always respect him for that, because that system was dead in the water. And he did a lot of work to bring it back up to what it was. But him buying all these studios for no reason other than to pad Game Pass with mediocre titles, even I, shrug at that. I'm like, why would you buy Double Fine instead of just, writing them a check for, $1 million to make a game on Game Pass? Right. It makes no sense to me.
I feel like that's a lot of it too, and that's why I don't. A lot of folks, and sometimes y'all too, are way more passionate about the business side of things, and you don't have all the details. Like, you don't know why it made more sense for him to do that versus spend $1 million to do the check thing. Because I mean, we just throwing out numbers right now, but like, you have none of the, you know what I mean, the stuff. All of it is us musing. You know, we're just guessing about whatever. So I don't know, man. It just, yeah.
No, I understand where you're coming from, but clearly Phil did something money-wise that they didn't like, because
he got fired.
They basically said, like,
obviously.
Phil, you got two choices. You can either be fired from Xbox or you can retire from Xbox.
Right, right. So he definitely got, his performance was lacking. But I'm just saying, like, we don't know. We don't have all the information that he had when he made that call, because maybe it did make more sense, at the time to do that, because whatever the company was going through or whatever the fuck, I don't know.
Also, is it crazy? Is it just me, or is it really crazy that, like, Sarah Bond just fell off the face of the earth?
I figured that was gonna happen.
Yeah, well, I mean, they.
She had to sign. Well, I mean, she had to sign some kind of NDA not to say anything, because otherwise she'd be out there on a tour.
Yeah, well, I think, also, I mean, Phil dug a hole and then handed her the shovel. So
definitely,
essentially,
I mean,
I really feel like she got did dirty in this whole situation. I mean, she cashed the checks, so I mean, you knew what you was doing, what you was in for.
Right.
But like, you're right, Phil dug the hole and handed her the shovel, because they definitely was priming her to be like the neck, take it over, and then she was like the face of all that stuff, and he was going to the background, and then like she was out, and they was hanging a lot of shit on her. But this was Sarah's fault. Fuck that, Sarah did that.
I mean, she will always be remembered as this is an Xbox campaign spearhead, which lasted all of like 6 months and was hated by everybody. Imagine that's your legacy.
So I mean, I think for her, business wise, being quiet and quietly going back to rebuild and do whatever you're doing is probably the best thing. And then she just come out with a book when her NDA is up.
They probably, I'm sure they handed her a significant amount of money and were like, hey, by the way, in exchange for this, fucking everything was your fault.
Yeah,
just so we're clear.
And also shut the fuck up. Don't tell nobody.
Oh, don't say shit. Oh, you.
I'm gonna be honest. If I was in her position, I'd be like, okay.
I would too. I mean, because in reality, I feel like we shouldn't know as much about these executives as we do. She should be able to just quietly go back to work at fucking P&G or someplace where she'll never, you know what I mean? Like, we know way too much about these executives. We turn them into rock stars.
She is 100% Batman at the end of The Dark Knight. If they had forced Batman to take the hit for Two-Face instead of him doing it on his own.
Yeah. All right. He also says, "What's your favorite E3 memory?" Mine is Kevin Butler on stage.
I mean, my favorite from an entertainment standpoint is definitely the Sony PS3 conference.
That was really funny.
I still go with the Konami one, where the guy was so uncomfortable and he's like, you can clap now.
You can clap now. The drummer guy, remember that guy?
Ravi Drums?
Yeah.
From Wii Music?
Yeah, that was a classic.
Yeah, that was.
I like the one where they were demonstrating. I can't think of that dude's name. I think he went on to make that awful Def Jam game, Def Jam Icon, but he was like displaying the Kinect when it was first coming out.
Oh, you talking about Kudo Tsunoda with the here's the bottom of an avatar's foot. Well, bam, there it is.
Bam.
That was so.
And the avatar like glitches out like it's having a seizure.
Yeah, it was having a seizure. Like, whoa, that is not at all, sir. What?
Yeah. I don't think anything will ever top the giant enemy crab.
Oh, that
shit was hilarious.
$599 US.
Yeah. Ridge Racer. That was all the same show, right? Yeah.
That was all the same show.
Boy, that thing was remember when that happened? Like, we're all sitting there like, man, Sony can do no wrong. PlayStation 2, best system ever. If I could come out and ruin it in like an hour.
Yeah. It was like, Jesus Christ, that was a mess.
Like, y'all couldn't have fucked up any worse than you just did, and somehow you fucked up worse. Like, I don't know how.
Yeah, we got a whole bunch of memes out of that conference.
And Microsoft sitting over there in the corner like, good.
Right. Excellent.
Sony hit their own weak point for massive damage.
Yeah. Oh man, that shit was hilarious.
Yep.
All right.
That's my favorite memory.
Going to the Twitter now. Shogun says, listening to the podcast, it needs to be examined how Phil was trying to fight a PR war, and during the time when he was buying all these companies, crunch was a big issue, and everybody assumed Microsoft was just going to fire people, force them to make terrible games. Well,
I mean,
yeah, they got some terrible games out of it anyway, and some people got fired anyway. So
could you imagine if you spent billions of dollars and you got fucking killed?
Yeah, that's
like, I know that's reductive. I understand that that's reductive, but that is truly what happened. though. Like, that's gotta suck, right?
Can you imagine? Here's what I want everybody to imagine. Can you imagine being in the room when the first wave of player data for the first Call of Duty that released on Game Pass came through?
Oof.
Oh man.
And being the guy who spent $69 billion primarily for that franchise, and giving it away for free, essentially for free, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like being in the room when you had to have that conversation. Well, how many Game Pass subscribers did we add with that acquisition? Well,
his voice went up. Well,
it's kind of insane.
It wasn't 690 million.
Right. It's kind of insane that it's almost like unlucky fate that the first year that Microsoft owns Call of Duty and it's under their belt entirely is probably the worst Call of Duty in like a decade.
Yeah, because it was really bad. Like, God, man.
Like, imagine that. Like Ryan said, being in the room with Phil, like, well, the worst Call of Duty in a decade, and you paid $69 billion for this.
Right. Oh, man.
Phil's like, well, shit.
Yeah. We'll get them next year?
Yeah. You won't, Phil, because you won't be here. Just saying.
Right. Well, Phil, we will get them next year. You will not.
You will not be getting them next year. You will be getting a retirement check. That's what you will be getting. All right, one more tweet. Shogun says, well, I missed the tweet. So people are getting priced out of the hobby. What other hobbies are you guys into? I've become a DIY professional, currently replacing attic boards in the house. Also, tuning cars is fun. I feel like that's just getting old.
It is. I feel like because I'm like doing I'm about to pull this carpet up and I'm painting my little room and I'm doing all this different. I'm like, this is just getting old. But I usually like paint miniatures too. Like I like, I don't know, I like the painting. It's relaxing.
I literally, after the show, I'm going to go drain water off the top of my pool cover, and then I'm going to edge around the outside, and then this week I have to try to paint the rest of the bathroom. Like, essentially,
man, these are tasks. What's your hobby?
He's also gonna kill a whole bunch of fucking frogs.
He is, bro. Actually, that's his hobby.
I've committed so much
Terminator.
I've committed so much tadpole genocide in my backyard. Motherfuckers don't. But no, the hobby is that I actually have to learn how to do this stuff. Like, the hobby that I'm learning now is that I'm going to try is sealant for like the bathroom.
Oh yeah.
I know how to do that.
I have never done that, so that's my next goal is to cut it all out and reseal it. So
here's the one big tip I'm going to give you for that is make sure it is super dry.
Oh God, yes.
Oh yeah.
Make sure whatever you're sealing is super dry, because if there's any moisture behind it at all, it's going to fuck the whole thing up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I plan on making it like a sterile, dry room in there. Yeah. Cut that shit out. So I'm going to use the bathroom that we don't use the shower in currently to start. So.
Yep.
That's that's one of the other things. Real quick, because I know Brian, you sent that link for that. Was it Godot? because I want to start messing with that. That seems like fun because you seem to be enjoying yourself, kind of toying with that. And that, I don't know.
I mean, if you're into gaming, like fiddle with like emulation machines and stuff like that. Like we joke all the time on here that we spend more time tinkering with our emulation machines than actually playing the games. That's accurate.
Yeah. Yep.
Like I spent all weekend setting up a Steam box and I played for all of 15 minutes.
Right. Yeah, but it's the tinkering that's the fun part.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. And then when it works, you're like, God damn, that was fun. I don't want to play a game.
Yeah, I feel like my other hobbies have been well covered on this show.
Yeah, I'm getting back into. I set up my guitar in the basement with an amp, so I'm gonna get back into that. So.
Yep, I enjoy my guitars. I do the coding thing now for fun on the side. I like to read. I like to play golf, although I haven't really played much in the last couple of years because we've had other stuff going on. But I do like to play golf.
Yeah.
I want to learn to do that. That's on my list. Like I want to play golf because I've always liked the games. Like I used to play, all the video games and stuff. Even when I was like young, like was interested in golf. But I never actually took it up.
We'll have to make a podcast excursion to Top Golf at some point.
Hell yeah!
What did you to record while you're playing? Like,
No, I just mean
admit all of us.
We are still friends.
I know.
Although we haven't all hung out in person in a very long time.
I think Terrence is the last person I saw, and what was that, like 3 months ago or some shit?
Yeah, it was a couple months ago.
Yeah.
It was a couple months ago.
Yeah.
I don't see nobody anymore.
No.
Like Steven messaged me the other day. He's like, "Could you come on the Old Gamers podcast tonight?" I was like, "Man, I have like 500 things I'm doing. I have no time."
You have a bunch of stuff going on.
I'm always doing
time
something.
Is definitely a precious commodity at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it don't feel like it was like that when I was younger. I feel like I had all the time for stuff when I was younger. But now,
No, the next thing you know, it's like, it's 8:00. I got to get ready to settle in for the night.
It's like, well, damn, I got to start doing this now. Like,
I got to find time to eat. What are you talking about?
Bro, yeah, that's the next thing because I done put these breaks in. The rest of all, I have not eaten today. Like, I definitely, I done showered and shit, but I got to go eat.
I got to get this.
I made pancakes on the Blackstone this morning, so that was mine.
Oh, that's nice.
I want one of those. We were talking about that the other day. I want a Blackstone because I want to cook shit like that.
I like mine a lot so far.
Nice.
I got to get this pump in the pool so I can have it running until the sun goes down. That's what I got to do, and then I'm gonna eat. So.
Well, I'll say a prayer for the frogs.
Right?
No, don't say a prayer for them. If I had a way to
for them motherfuckers. I'm waiting for us to send a message in Discord and get a response that just says, "Ken is gone. This is the frogs."
They done went Rick
we
and
own
Morty.
this now.
Whatever. It's kind of mech suit and shit. Like, yeah.
I will take a handgun before I allow them to take over my pool.
He gonna go to war with these frogs.
You can see me crawl around on the yard in the backyard with a bandana on, fucking camouflage for the grass. Anyway, that's it for us this week. If you want to send us tweets and skeets and emails, you can send them to Twitter at ZTGD Podcast, Blue Sky it's at ZTGD Radio, and you can email us podcasts at ZTGD.com. This podcast is now your new hobby because you can't afford to buy video games.
Yeah, it's true.
It's true.
Live vicariously through us who also aren't playing video games.
Yeah, we'll play old stuff. We won't play new stuff because we can't afford it.
Right.
Anyway, that's it for us this week. Hope you all have a good week. Stay cool. Enjoy the summer. Play some old games. You can't afford the new ones. Anyway, we out of here. Peace, bitches.
Alrighty. And it goes something like this.